Hello, this is Alekius, and welcome back to another episode of Warplan Orange as the Allies in 1926. Checking on some of my subs, see what their supply levels are at. They head back on their own usually. Like that one, that has no torpedoes. Sometimes they stay, and I don't mind if they stay. Usually that provides good reconnaissance, but all the way over here, I'm not so concerned about reconnaissance as hitting targets. That one is headed back as well. That one has only 2 torpedoes, but that's fine. Yeah, I think we're good. We can just go ahead and roll into it. Oh, and we retaliate. Excellent. Maybe our destroyers are getting better too. 5 hits. We may have taken out a Japanese sub. That's 1 transport less that the Japanese have. One of our subs hitting a destroyer successfully. Alright, all of our scouts doing their thing. Hitting the Haruna and the Kirishima. Well, that's 2 of the Kongo class battle cruisers. Troop transport. Best kind of transport to hit. That's debarking. Or not necessarily amphibious, but they're the ones most likely to be. Battleship. Well, they missed. Man, they have almost too many targets. One of our aircraft damaged. Naval bombardment. Another transport bats the dust for the Japanese. And done. 12th of April. Nothing on the west coast. I have a couple tankers loading up fuel to head to Midway. There's a submarine sitting outside Midway. And our anti-sub patrol. In fact, we have our sweep. We have our, there we go, ASW patrol. them up to 70. We'll see if they can go find them. We'll still have our naval attack. You will do ASW patrol as well. Now you have more range for scouting. And we got those guys to take care of. Oh yeah, the Detroit is not going to make it. That is way too much flotation damage. Alright, let's send the O1 in to go scout Wake. Meanwhile, let's send the Yorktown west and the Langley east. Ooh, not that close. You know what? Why not? We'll see how they do at closest approach. Nothing happened out by the marshals. Ball is almost there. The lead elements of that group. Fatigue is acceptable. Pretty minimal on that side. And wait a moment. And is our ship availability? 3 days for the Columbus. 15th. Alright, moving on. No dice with that one for either side. Ooh, not good for the S-28. I'll have to look for her. 3 hits. Naval bombardment continuing at Apari. Rain in the area though. Ooh, the Charleston takes a torpedo. 1 torpedo. So that might not be bad. Alright, bombing import ships. In the Kirishima and the Haruna. Long range, hitting the Aki out there. 34. Oh yeah. This is what you get from bombarding a party. I'm wondering when they were going to actually organize well enough to do an attack. Looks like mostly misses. 1 bomb hit each. That is depressing. Out here, we're hitting the transports. Just outside of Wake. Yep, there's a personnel transport. Torpedo. 1 torpedo in each. Nice. Oof. Naval fighters hitting the base. 1 1 destroyed, 6 damaged. A lot of hits on the runway. Here's our follow-up sortie. Scattered showers in the area, judging by the weather map. No success. S-28 is the one we need to look for. It says heavy damage. Could retreat on its own, but we're going to make sure of that. And 13th of April. Nothing on the west coast. We did just get a bunch of aircraft here in Pearl Harbor, including some blimps, which we can, depending on which one it is, we can send that all the way over to that one. And probably transfer to Midway by itself. Jeez, it can go all the way to Kodiak. Up in Alaska. Adak, Christmas Island, French Frigate Shoal, Dutch Harbor. So yeah, no problem. Sydney Island. We'll send them to Midway. No need to transfer on any ships or anything. These ones have how much range? 7. We couldn't possibly. The DH-4s actually have some range. They're limited to where they can land, though. And then these ones also have some range. Not enough to really get anywhere, though. So let's check on the S-28. Very bad. Has not decided to return yet. We'll get them to return. See if we can send a replacement. Hey, look at that already. Then we'll come back to Wake. So we have force of cruisers, battleship, bunch of personnel transports. We have Charleston on fire and flooding. I'm going to move them southwest of Wake. And then the Langley will move northwest of Wake. Actually, those all appear to be headed out. Let's change it a little bit. Let's head southwest. And rather than going through the submarines again, I head southwest with the Langley as well. Nothing in the Marshalls. What are these guys doing? Shubrick has made it to a point of stability and won't sink. Let's form a new task force. Shubrick. Return to Pearl Harbor, disband, retirement allowed. Now in Rabaul. They're there. These guys are unloading fuel from Brisbane. Speaking of it, been a couple days. A tanker in Sydney. Load fuel. Retirement allowed. No auto disband. Unload cargo. Bring it up to Brisbane. Aircraft wise, we have Sopwith Snipes. And no tankers sitting in other Australian ports. French are moving along. Happy with the orders over here. 28's already retreating. And we can move forward. Yes, we sank a tanker. Old battleships hitting up the Apari, as well as the two cruisers. The Detroit sinks, no surprise. All our scouts doing their thing. All their scouts doing their thing. And the transports in, sitting outside of Lake with torpedoes and bombs. Mainly highly effective in that sense. We'll have to check, see how many torpedoes they have left on board. And we almost have lead elements of the French in Changchao. There's all our new arrivals. And there we go. Yeah, that worked out well. Anyways, 14th of April, 1926. Nothing to see it on the west coast. We have a single transport dropping off patrol craft. Midway, there's not much going off there. Let's bring our replenishment ships down to the southeast end of Wake. Bring the carriers to the same. We may combine the two groups at this point and detach the Charleston. We'll wait for that though. I do want to see the groups. How many max sorties? 300 of 0. So they're about tapped out. Have them sit on ASW. Meanwhile, the Langley has plenty of sorties left. Thought it tracked the number of aerial torpedoes they had on board, but apparently it's just part of the sorties. Maybe thinking of War in the Pacific, Admiral's Edition. ASW patrol and the torpedo bomber. We're not gonna do ASW for them. So we will leave their orders unchanged. Anchor coming in, providing fuel for Elliot. Let's go ahead and shift that to Rabaul. Actually, you know what? No. Well, we're going to drop off the fuel at Joliet, and that'll be a forward base that we use if we need it. Shubrick heading back. Another set of 3 also heading back. I don't see any other changes at this point. Did see that we got a bunch of UK troops. What kind of tank regiment is that? Vickers Mark 1. It's 55 of them, that's not insignificant. Second UK division. Do I just walk them across? Seems a bit silly. Well, let's form some transports. And load some troops. No auto disband, retirement allowed, unload cargo. So, load troops. We will grab armor, infantry, not the HQs or the base force. That should be sufficient. And bring them direct to Singapore. I do believe we get the Furious next turn. We got quite a few things this turn. We get more flying boats and scout craft on the west coast. We get the Furious tomorrow. That sorted? No, that was not. Also get a bunch of submarines. Battleship Canada in Vancouver. Battlecruiser United States in San Diego. And then nothing on the ground front for a little while. Alright, let's take things over. The Kaga. No dice though. Was worth the shot. Scouting operations. 17. It's alright, I'll take it. Destroyers are a lot more fragile than the other ships if we can hit them. Couple hits. Okay, one hit on a light cruiser. Oh, here's the Japanese carriers hitting Wenchao again. One of ours damaged. Second sortie by the group in Luzon. No joy this time. Japanese can't find our sub. Naval bombardment at Apari. You know, I did just get that shore defense battalion, brigade on the west coast. Suddenly Apari looks like a great place to put them. Furious arrives at Colombo, Canada and Vancouver, United States in San Diego. As well as our aircraft. We did get the submarines. We have a light cruiser. Couple destroyers. What do we have in Vancouver? Just the battleship. So, form a new surface group. Oh, she starts with a little damage. They do have repair facilities? Nope. Okay. Well then, let's take Canada. We'll set their home base for San Francisco. And auto disband. What do we have in Seattle? Okay. Meanwhile, the United States and Richmond will pair up. We'll set them over to Pearl Harbor. Replenishment is not quite where I want it. Do I want to return the carrier force or not? Who has the better commander? Jeffries, Rico. Well, that's much better. Okay, so we will transfer to Task Force 1064. All except the Charleston. The Charleston will set a new mission. Launch the task force at sea. Set home base Pearl Harbor. And return. 0 reaction range. Leave the carriers in place for the moment. Let the replenishment ships get there. Top off their fuel. We'll keep them around for a little bit longer, and then we're going to retreat the carriers. Repair, refit, and come back possibly to Wake. I don't know. I'm really debating whether we should push Wake or not. It would be great because it should be easy to take Marcus Islands, and we could take the Bonin Islands, and we could just cut straight through the middle rather than messing around with Carolines. Given the condition of the Japanese Navy, I'm inclined to do that. Let's go find Colombo. There we go. We have no escorts for the carrier at this time. And she may need repairs, but she does not. Alright, set destination Singapore. Let's set her planes for max defensiveness. We get 4 flights, 8 planes each, except for the... what are these? Level bombers. We have fighters, which will do mostly an escort. 50-50 cap. Let's do 30% cap. We have the torpedo bombers, which for sure will be set to naval attack. And then recon. No, port attack. There we go. Naval search level, minimal. Already set to max range. Let's bring them down. Fighters will keep up high. More torpedo bombers. Set those a little lower. Increase the naval search. Then we have the level bombers with 100-pound bombs. 2. ASW patrol. Max. Set them to 5,000 though. Hopefully to see things better. 2,000 might be more than sufficient. I don't know if it matters that much for ASW. I'll have to dig into the manual to find out for sure. Experience levels are climbing throughout the squadrons. Which is very good. And we have time for, I think, one more turn. There's that bombardment again. ASW is actually chasing them, and they were hit. CH-14 off the north end of Formosa. CH-14. Scouts doing their things. Nice sized raid on the cruisers. Modern cruiser Aoba and older cruiser Osama. Multiple bomb hits this time. Five bomb hits for one damaged aircraft. I approve. $29 more for follow-up attack on cruisers out at sea. One bomb hit on light cruiser Jinsu. Another bomb hit on destroyer Maki. For a total of 2 hits out of 29 aircraft. Brisfit follows up with the Aoba. 100-pound bomb hits. 20-pound bomb hits. 4 bomb hits altogether. Unsuccessful ASW attack by the Japanese. And here we are, 16th of April. Nothing going on in Hawaii. Midway, we should have seen the Zeppelins. Or blimps. They're blimps. I think Zeppelins and I think gigantic. That is their maximum altitude. Okay. Is that your research or search level? ASW, ASW, cap. Alright, excellent. Meanwhile, the carriers and replenishment ships are out here. Langley has sorties, the Yorktown does not. And we cannot replenish those from the replenishment ships. So we did that little bit. Let's pull them off. Meanwhile, let's just drag the submarines with us. Charleston should make it. No reason why they shouldn't. Nothing going on in Marshalls. Ball, we have transports arriving and leaving. Borneo, nothing. Malaya, nothing. You can see the Furious coming around. Luzon, nothing going on at the moment. We have 9 aircraft being repaired. We have no support. Correct. Yep, and we need 15. I have the rest of our planes waiting over here. These are Sopwith Snipes. And these are the Brisfits. And they have the actual 100-pound bombs. What is their experience level? 49. Not that great. Not yet, at least. Oh, yes, that's right. I could do night ops with some of these planes. I don't think I will, though. Let things settle down. It looks like a lot of our subs are pulling back for now, which I'm fine with. We'll let our cordon get some holes in it, and then we'll set it up again. We have a lot of subs, but we have only so many tenders. Okay, I like that. I do want to spend a minute and take a look at the ships available in Pearl Harbor. Battleship-wise, the fleet is still repairing, but I could go forth with all but 7 of the Western Fleet. It's actually a significant amount of ships. All but 7. That would be 19 battleships, up to 20. Meanwhile, over in Singapore, I'm about to have 3 carriers, and the Dreadnought and Princess Royal. The Lion class. Okay, so that's relatively modern. I don't think the Lion class was built in real life. He's still repairing. That's 2 battleships, 3 carriers. Interesting. That leaves us some options. Then to this episode, I'm liking either bypassing and just sea lifting, or really moving the American battle fleet over to Luzon, basing out of Pearl Harbor or Manila, and taking Formosa. The alternative is, despite how disastrous some of the other island invasions have been in the contested space, Wake really isn't responding like I would expect. And my carriers have been operating almost with impunity, except for the submarines. That kind of tells me that Wake is not doing so well. So we could bring the battle fleet over here, try a tentative bombardment with a couple cruisers, depending on how that goes. Well, no, it has to be the battleships, because their shore guns are significant and they probably still have ammo. But whether they can continue is another thing. So I might break the battle fleet into like 3 parts and rotate them and see how that goes. If the shore guns stop firing, that's when we send an amphibious invasion. So those are 2 things to aim for. I know we've just kind of been harassing them for now. I've been waiting for the Furious to get done. And I know I've been exercising the American carriers. So now they should have better experience. I'm not too concerned about the carrier's experience as I am the aircraft's experience. Which is good, actually. Bombers being particularly significant. Then fighters, they're good. Bombers, not so much. Okay. And there's the possibility to swap out with aircraft we have here. We have fighters. No, those are float planes. My bad. Let's just go through them. We have fighters, which I don't think we need. We have torpedo bombers. I don't mind swapping one of those out, but if we're going to be going after a wake, we probably want more of the bombers. Scouts. Land-based bombers. And fighters. Float planes. And then we're back to fighters. Blimp. Fighter. Fighter. So VE7SF. I'll have to compare that when I get them back. Get the carriers back here, and we'll see if we might swap those out as well. And we have regular bombers over here on Midway. I forgot to station some actual real planes over here. Not just land-based, but carrier-based as well. Anyways, those are some ideas that I'm kicking around, especially as you're all caught up with me now. Not recording way ahead anymore. With that, I hope you enjoyed. Appreciate you staying to the end. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.